something that Cox didn't do early in the tournament was stay on his attacks. He's going to need to pick up his pace and get to his attacks early and often and not stay up high. When he's on his offense, to his snaps, to his picks, to his knee pulls, he's as good as anyone in the world. But when he stands and waits, he takes away that athletic ability that he has and that just that wrestling ability. He has to have high pace in order to be the best in the world.
And not only that, he's 10 years younger than his opponent, so putting that pressure on the older fighter could be a good tactic.
And GANEV had a war in the final repechage match against his opponent from Cuba. Kind of back and forth battle. He came out at the last second with a victory, and it went to the jury. They made the choice, and they agreed with the call. So he's here against J'den Cox, and again, he needs to get to scoring early, J'den does, in order to put his stamp on this match.
J'den Cox trying to put the pressure on GANEV, calling on all of his experience, just slowing things down, the man in red, but maybe slowing it down too much.
Red, action.
So second passivity. First passivity against GANEV. Again, in the next 15, 20 seconds, we're going to see a second passivity call with both wrestlers here with a passivity. So J'den stays in front there instead of getting to a corner, and GANEV did an amazing job of keeping Cox in front of him.
Now, for the uninitiated, GANEV has just crawled back out of the mat there, but there's no points for that.
No, because he stayed down on his knees. If he had been on his feet and stepped out, that's a point. But the action happened when they were both down on the mat, so he went out of bounds, no step-out point.
And certainly no points on the board either, as the time points its way towards the closing minute, but it will be a little warning there for GANEV.
Okay.
Both men going hand to hand, but the clock is ticking now. Cox has a slight advantage. Can he capitalise? Will GANEV work forward?
Again, when J'den Cox is offensive, he's great. 30 seconds for GANEV here in the activity period. In my opinion, that activity period is a perfect time to score for either wrestler. You don't have to wait and hold back and wrestle not to lose. Those are the situations where you go out there and wrestle to win. So 1 point on the board, scoreless tie broken, 1 point on the board for J'den Cox. He's really heavy on his feet right now. Usually J'den Cox so light on his feet, and his motion is usually flawless. So right there, he needs some good fakes, some good motion, and he needs to skate the edge of this corner and walk the tightrope so he doesn't give up a step-out point.
Yeah, it's not easy to walk that tightrope, but GANEV is all over you like a rash, pushing forward well, the Bulgarian. It's been a close-fought contest, but at the end of the opening period, it's the American in blue who's that 1 point closer to the bronze. But an enormous amount of wrestling left in this one, because GANEV, well, he provides stiff competition for Cox.
Right, and Mike Ehrman and Sammy Hinson in the corner for J'den Cox. Cox kind of looked over his shoulder, checking out what's happening in the other corner. They're going to tell him, pick up your pace, get to your attacks. And I'm sure the Bulgarian coaches are saying the same thing to Mikhail GANEV. You need to make attacks. Without those attacks, this match there's first of all not going to be very many scores without the attacks. Second of all, they're going to put it in the hands of the passivities in those 30-second activity clocks.
Well, you hear the atmosphere. They don't want too much passivity in Paris. The passion of both men. Can it be converted to points here? GANEV, incumbent upon him. He needs to work forward. Will that play into the hands of J'den Cox here? Bit more movement now from the American. A little finger in the eye there, unintentional, but despite the lack of intent, well, we hope he's okay. Needs the eye of the tiger.
Okay, blue, center.
And I love the fact that J'den Cox had gotten to his motion right before he gave up the poke to the eye. When he has his fakes and his level changes in his motions, he's very difficult right there. Change of direction was just beautiful by Jaden Cox. He faked hard with his right hand to the swing single and came right back with a little duck to the left-hand side for a score. That was masterful.
Great job.
And he's got that in his arsenal all the time, but I think sometimes he waits back throughout this tournament and has waited to take that shot. Hopefully he gets back to his offense here, because there's not a whole lot, he's still got plenty of time in this match. 3 points isn't going to cut it.
Sure, GANEV will be trying to cut back into that lead. Jaden Cox back up on his bicycle, shifting around, giving GANEV lots of different angles to look at here. Good tactics. And the Team American coach delighted and echoing your sentiments, Brian. And get on the move, give GANEV lots to look for.
Right, and honestly, if he keeps his presence of his motion and his in and out movement, GANEV isn't going to be thinking about scoring. He's going to think about not giving up scores.
Yep, chasing shadows a little bit here, GANEV.
And that's where GANEV is good in that underhook position, closing the gap and keeping the tight contact.
That contact will lead to passivity warning. 1 minute and 30 and some change in this one. A slap to the face there from Cox. GANEV, can he get himself back into this one? How important could this point be?
So important. So this is a perfect time for Cox to get a takedown in this 30-second shot clock. Right there, beautiful attack, swing single, and he was able not only to get to the single, but he was able to rip GANEV's leg off the mat. And the mat is pretty wet right now, as it's hot under those lights, and Jaden Cox tends to sweat profusely. So 5-0 Cox here.
Just as you say that, both men working up a sweat here, but the coach in the corner saying just take it nice and easy. Run the clock down now. It's yours for the taking. Jaden Cox in prime position. GANEV, well, he needs a miracle shot now. The Bulgarian shoots for the leg. Excellent movement there from Jaden Cox. He's got one hand on this bronze medal. Can he keep it going here?
So right there, Cox is keeping his feet motion moving very well. GANEV's going to need a level change in an attack here. But right now, like a bullfighter, Cox with a little step back and right into a leg attack. And a step out point, 1 point on the board for Cox, and that's got to make him feel that much better of a 6-0 with 20 seconds to go here. And they're just skating out there. It's so wet on that mat right now that both wrestlers their feet are slipping, but Jaden Cox used to that. He's able to go on a go behind and take the 8-0 lead here with 6 seconds to go.
Yep, GANEV, slipping further behind. You can see by the look, the expression of the coach. Delight for Team America. This one all over, bar the shouting. They lock hands. Well, they locked up all the way through in this one. A nice embrace. And a great job indeed. Jaden Cox, World Championship bronze medal for him. GANEV, credit to him. But beaten by the better man. Cox was the better, and it is the American with the bronze.
I like to see that he got the first points on the board early in the tournament. He went down early in his first round, in his second round, and he had to come back in those matches once he got his momentum going.